Hi everyone, JT here and welcome. We are doing, for the first time ever, I want to do something I always wanted to do, and now that I have my YouTube channel back, this is that time. Today I will be joining a vast list of other YouTubers in List Season 2022, where I am getting involved and make my own little year-end list countdowns, and I love doing these. And today we are doing my top 10 best movies of 2022. So, of course, I will admit, I didn't go see a lot of movies this year. Didn't go much to the movie theater a lot. Wasn't because of school. Wasn't focused a lot on streaming, but I did watch some great things. I have enough to make a top 10 best and a top 10 worst. Today is going to be top 10. Tomorrow I will be releasing a top 10 worst movies list. And yeah, just gonna keep that slogan brief. Just didn't see a lot of things this year. This is my opinion. You might not agree with everything I say about certain films, but it's all just my opinion. But enough gibberish. Let's go to the year-end list for. At number 10, I have The Policeman, one of two movies this year that starred great One Direction member Harry Styles. Very was hesitant considering the bad reception Don't Worry Darling got. I think The Policeman was a little bit better. I liked Harry. I liked him in Dunkirk. Definitely liked him in this movie. I liked the story about this closeted gay policeman. Really liked his acting in this film. Really enjoyed the story. Wasn't amazing, but it was good. That's why I have it very high at number 10. Just because, I do still have belief in Harry's acting abilities. Some of y'all might not disagree with me. Some of y'all might agree with me. But Policeman was a solid film with Harry Styles in the lead role. 9 on my list is Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Weird Al. He made the best comedy movie of the year, if we're all to be honest. Seriously, I laughed my butt off watching this movie. Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al was fantastic. Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna. And it's just a great. I knew I was expecting a parody of traditional movie biopics, but boy, it's hilarious. Weird Al definitely delivered in bringing one of the most funniest parodies of celebrity biopics, and definitely brought one of the most hilarious comedies of this. At number 8, I have Hocus Pocus 2, alongside with Weird Al, also making a great comedy movie of 2022. We also had the great ladies of the Sanderson sisters giving us great acting as well, and bringing the nostalgia of a great Halloween comedy classic. Hocus Pocus 2 definitely delivered well when it came to the comedy between the Sanderson sisters. Bette Midler, of course, is Winifred Sanderson. At her stage of her career, she still brought great A-game, great comedic timing as Winifred. And of course, I just love this great nostalgic trip with Hocus Pocus. And really, I was concerned when it came to this new sequel, but very much a great delivery in this very, very properly made Halloween comedy sequel to a great Halloween comedy. Number 7 on my list is Elvis, the biopic from Warner Brothers. I was hesitant when this movie was about to come out, but when I loved this biopic. It gave us a great insight, particularly that it was very much a cautionary tale. Seeing the great rise and the sad, tragic downfall of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, seeing the very toxic relationship that he had with Colonel Tom Parker, which I always had that inkling when I had kind of an Elvis phase. And yeah, Colonel Tom Parker is a perfect display of a toxic manager. Make sure to get the best people, not awful people like him. Austin Butler's performance as Elvis was fantastic. Tom Hanks also as Colonel Tom Parker. You know, this was the first time where I was actually had a disliking of Tom Hanks. He played the role so well as kind of the villain of this story. And of course, I love the music, with the exception of Vegas by Doja Cat. I didn't really like that song. I'm sorry. But I did like the take of the song Edge of Reality, remixed by Tame Impala. And of course, Casey Musgrave's heartbreaking, beautiful rendition of Can't Help Falling in Love. Just, this was a great biopic. If there was a strong biopic that came out this year, it's definitely number 6 from the nostalgia of Hocus Pocus, of 90s nostalgia. We got some 2000s nostalgia with Jackass Forever. Now, I never grew up watching Jackass as a kid. I watched it a few times, and then my grandma told me to change the channel. But this was a great, hilarious film. Johnny Knoxville and crew, of course, doing their great, almost deadly stunts, and really did a fantastic job. The great camaraderie between Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Wee Man, everybody in the team was fantastic. I even liked the new members, particularly like Poopies, Jackass. They were fantastic as well. And just, again, it was a very great escapism film. And of course, as a kid of the 2000s, and particularly most of y'all who really grew up with Jackass, definitely would love this film. And believe me, it got me to respect the Jackass crew a lot more now. Particularly that I've really gotten into Steve-O's content here on YouTube. And I even saw him live on his Bucket List tour. Highly recommend checking him stand-up shows live. He is fantastic. He must be 18 or older, though. His comedy work is not for all. It's for mostly adults, just saying. But overall, I mean, Jackass Forever. Again, if you were a kid of the 2000s who just loved Jackass, you definitely love Jackass Forever, and I could see why. It was just a great, hilarious, another great comedy too of 2022. 5 on my list: Fruits Basket Prelude. I'm going to be on my anime BS. I'm an anime fan, and I definitely loved the 2019 reboot of Fruits Basket. And definitely did this Prelude was a final trip in the roller coaster ride of emotion that is Fruits Basket. We get to tell the story of Toru's mom and dad, seeing how they met, their relationship, Toru's father's death, how emotionally grief-stricken it struck Toru's mom. Oh, yeah. Again, roller coaster ride of emotion that basically was very much present in Fruits Basket 2019. Definitely present here in this series. The English dub was fantastic. Definitely was a perfect way to bring a closing to the hit 2019 reboot of Fruits Basket Origins. Thank you, Fruits Basket. A great series. And yeah, I so miss it a lot. On my list, Disney and Pixar's Turning Red. Yes, I actually liked this movie, you know. Disney was a bit hit or miss with several films this year, but Turning Red was the solid strength. Domi Shi, this coming of age story about Malin Lee turning into a red panda, was just, it was a hilarious film, great film. You know, all the aspects that I love to see from Disney and Pixar was fantastic. Domi Shi definitely was creative this year. Just, I love the movie. I love the story. I love Malin Lee. I love her friends in the film, Abby being my favorite of them all. And, you know, just seeing the kind of dynamics between the mom and the daughter. Oh, I mean, there's a lot I could say detailed wise, you know, but overall, I mean, when it came to the Disney Pixar, what came out from the studio this year, most definitely Turning Red definitely was a strong, very much a good movie that I actually came back to even a few times more. Plus, I love the music. Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell's contributions to it for the group Four Town, very great bops as well. Yeah, Turning Red, very strong animated film released. On my list, Avatar: The Way of Water. James Cameron back with a new film of Avatar. No, not this one. Just a little now reason why I'm wearing this shirt. But yeah, was very much excited and very hesitant at the same time when it came to this movie, just because the gap. Again, I was in 5th grade when the first Avatar film came out. Man, but you know what? Time has aged well. I went to see the movie in IMAX 3D, which personally I believe is the best way to watch this movie, is in IMAX 3D. That is the best way to watch it. And man, it was. The ocean scenes in this movie were so beautiful. Just again, the cinematography and the visual effects, you can really tell that James Cameron put a lot of detailed work on that. Just also the acting was fantastic. Zoe Saldana as Neytiri was fantastic. Kate Winslet playing a Na'vi. Again, my known of her is in Titanic when it came to a collab with James Cameron. To see her as a Na'vi, whoa. Yeah, this was a great film. Yeah, it's number 3. It could have been number 1, but that's too easy. And I have to give spotlight to other films that were much greater than Avatar, but trust me, Avatar: The Way of Water. Don't believe everything that's being said by YouTube grifters. This is a good movie. I highly recommend to check out. Number 2 on my list, the second best movie of 2022 has to be Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Man, 2022 was the year of Pinocchio. A lot of Pinocchio movies. One from Disney, that was a live action remake, that was subpar. And then another one, which I will explain more on my worst list tomorrow. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro, thank you for making this masterpiece. And I really like that he also respects animation. In a year where I felt Hollywood and the entertainment industry in general did not have a great respect for animation this year, Guillermo del Toro displays his respect for animation by creating a beautiful telling of Pinocchio that not so much for kids, but is beautifully, with the stop motion animation, the details, beautiful, really good. Love the music, love the acting, everything. Señor del Toro did a fantastic job. Definitely loved this movie. And it could have been my number 1. However, another visionary great director that I love, he cemented himself in the number 1 spot earlier this year when his movie got its US release this year. Okay, first up, yes, this movie came out in Japan in 2021. This movie came out this year here in America. Yes, Mamoru Hosoda's Belle. I'm sorry, I loved that movie. That was one of the movies that I was very much highly anticipating in the very beginning of the year to come out. And my anticipation was worth it. I loved Belle. Belle was a beautiful movie. Mamoru Hosoda taking the story of Beauty and the Beast and then putting it in the cybernetic artistic world and the crazy cybernetic social world of you. Again, like taking Beauty and the Beast and mashing it up with Summer Wars. That's what I could describe this movie. And yeah, I loved it. Just the visuals. I mean, he got the backing of a Disney veteran animator and Cartoon Saloon. I mean, you couldn't ask for great collaborators to give you a masterpiece of an animated film. And the voice acting in the English dub was also fantastic. The voice of Belle, she sang beautifully. Believe me, seriously, alongside of almost being close, similar to the Japanese voice actress who's also a singer, she almost kind of gave me Celine Dion vibes too, which is so fantastic. Yeah, I loved Belle. I cannot deny. Again, Mamoru Hosoda. While I will say, the usual routine that I always have of a Mamoru Hosoda film where I would relate to it wasn't present here, but either way, it doesn't deny that this was just a great movie. I loved. I kept playing the album on repeat, the English version of the album soundtrack too. But yeah, I mean, there were a lot of other movies, but just Belle was the big movie that I was excited for, and it delivered, and I was so happy to watch it. Yeah, Mamoru Hosoda's Belle is my pick for the #1 best movie of 2022. And that's it. That is my best movies list of 2022. What were your top 10 favorites? Let me know in the comments down below. Tomorrow, we're going to be tackling the worst movies of 2022. And tomorrow is December 30th. What is the best way to make a review before New Year's? And boy, I'll have a lot to talk about. Some controversial, some baby bias, but I don't care. Stay tuned for my top 10 worst movies of 2022. Until then, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video if you can. And this is JT signing off.